didn't get to address the conversation between Kamala Harris and Taraji yesterday, but I gotta say this, y'all. This squeeze bottlehead hoe actually had the audacity to address Black America when she has done absolutely nothing to help out Black communities this entire presidency. Kamala Harris is one of those biracial people who likes to only use her blackness when it's beneficial to her. When it's beneficial to
Teach.
her gaining some type of political one up. Any other time, she is more than willing to soft shoe tap dance around any type of issue that has to do with Black America. At this point, can we just agree that the relationship between Black America and the Democratic Party is low key toxic? It's
Oh,
toxic.
yes.
It really is. I'm talking about toxic in a sense to where they constantly beat and abuse us. They constantly cheat on us. They constantly lie to us. Yet somehow, when that 4 year mark is starting to come to an end, now they want to give us little flowers and little gifts and trinkets and shit.
Never fails. Every election year, what do? First thing they do is they start showing up at your churches. Then they start throwing rallies, inviting your favorite hip hop artists and other black entertainers. Then they start sending they black flunkies out on the social media to stir up fear. Vote for the Democrats or else. They invite some black people to the VP's house and play some sexy red. They throw a Juneteenth barbecue backyard bash. They want to relate to you. They want to show you that they down with you, that they like you. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else is not like us. Every election year it never fails. And what do? We fall for it. The vice president on TV talking about, yeah, I'm in these streets. What? Making yourself look like a clown. One of the most cringe-worthy moments that we've seen in the last few years. The only thing worse that I've seen is Hillary Clinton talking about her carrying hot sauce in her bag. I mean, it's literally a clown show. And what do? We take part in the circus, sadly.
And tell us that they'll never do it again and that they're sorry and that they love us. Only to turn around and do the shit again once we let them back into the office. Because even though reproductive rights in America is important, we still fail to realize that blacks have the highest abortion rate in the country.
Yep.
Not only that, blacks also have the highest rate for child mortality, meaning there are more babies that are unalived in the black community, as well as mothers who pass away when giving birth to their children. Those are the conversations that we may need to start having.
So let me just interject real quick before we wrap this video up. I was listening to this guy on social media the other day, and he made an excellent point. He was having a debate with this black woman, and she was talking about policing in the black community and how police basically the police department in the United States of America basically started out as slave patrol. We know historically there's some truth to that, and it has roots in racism. Fine, understood. But he said when we bring up abortion, which we already know Margaret Sanger, and she said black people were weeds, and she wanted us to actually abort our children, and she wanted to assist us in the process of doing that with Planned Parenthood. They never talk about racism as it relates to that, though. And we've aborted 22.5 million, I believe they said, babies, black babies. Millions of black babies. Now that's like, I don't want to use the word G, but we talk about what's happening over on the other side of the world. But that's another form of that, really, when you think about it. So, like, man, we so backwards. We so backwards. It just don't make no sense. So, on one hand, we talk about policing and black men losing their lives. But then at the same time, when it comes to unaliving our babies, you're fine with that. Man, just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Because I don't see nobody else. I don't see no other communities but Black and Latino communities with Planned Parenthoods in them. I don't see nobody else but Black and Latinos who seem to constantly keep getting pandered to when it comes to this situation. Out of those two, guess who keeping their babies? They keeping theirs. Let us not forget about how they were literally giving women, black women in general, hysterectomies without their consent. Y'all could go look that up. Also look up eugenics while you're at it. Margaret Singler, okay? Look her up. The moment we see a black face or somewhat of a black face in the White House or a part of the government in some way, we always constantly think that they're going to do some shit for us. Look how long Clarence Thomas been in office. Y'all remember what he did to Anita Hill, and yet he's still there somehow, and he ain't did absolutely nothing for us. Nothing. Look, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm just a human being with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a
That's
brain
right.
that's just really low-key tired of the bullshit. But when y'all gonna get tired? Because if she felt that way so strong about black communities, why would y'all allow all of them migrants to be dumped in black communities? You were supposed to do something then. That was your time to shine. But you didn't. You dropped the ball. You, Johnson, and Adams, y'all didn't do shit. I think it's time for us to really hold that notion tight to our soul and understand that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. No, I didn't.
Two excellent points that she made. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And the other was she talked about them dropping all of these illegal immigrants, which they like to call undocumented people, off in our communities. Well, first let's just deal with the all skin folks ain't kinfolks. Because we go run out. We'll vote against our interest to put a black person in office. Just because they're black. Oh, I'm voting for the black guy. I'm voting for the black woman. Look at Kamala. That's the reason why some of you people who were kind of leaning against voting for Democrats, you went on here and oh, we're putting a black woman in the White House. But man, that woman just only used the black card when she needs something. And now they need your vote. So she's swiping the hell out that black card. I just did a whole video on TikTok talking about her. And it's actually embarrassing. Because to be honest with you, she really considers herself to be Indian. That's what she considers herself to be. She doesn't consider herself to be black. Only when she needs black people votes is she black. Then let's deal with the illegal immigrants, which we actually just talked about in another video. How they just dumped them into our communities and they're sucking up all the resources. And the people in the communities, which are black people, actually need those resources. These are tax-paying, hard-working citizens. These people are driving around with no driver's license, not getting pulled over by the police. They're committing crimes. They're taking up all the available housing while our streets are crumbling, our schools are in shambles. Everything is jacked up. And these people keep throwing money at it, and they're letting more in by the day. And guess whose fault that was? When Donald Trump was in office, whether you like Donald Trump or not, his plan for the border, bro, it was the best implemented plan by any president. Build that wall. And people say, oh, well, build the wall for what? Now we see. But what did Joe Biden's administration do? When the governor of Texas told his people in Texas to go out and put razor wire around the border so they couldn't get through, Joe Biden's administration sued the state of Texas. And it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said that basically the Texas lost. They had to remove the barbed wire. And so they were able to just freely come in. And so Texas, like, they're not going to just come in and into our state. We don't play that. So we going to bust them up to these clowns up here up north, to these sanctuary cities where your and my kind are. And who's suffering because of it? And now you want to go and you say, oh, you know, I can't deal with this. A lot of y'all they didn't finally press your buttons enough to where now you want to look elsewhere because you're sick of them. Because you know they don't give a damn about you. They sit up and make promises to you that they don't have any plans on keeping, that they know that even if they tried, they couldn't even pass the legislation anyway. And you sit up and believe it year after year after year after year. When do you wake up? It's a toxic relationship. Broken promises. You remember, I remember it clearly. On the night that Joe Biden was elected, he came out, the black community, I'm going to have your back just like you had our back, blah, 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 blah. Has he had your back? Chicago, New York, has he had your back? And all these other cities where they dropping these people off? But they ain't helping you. Have they had your back? When they're sending money to Taiwan and Ukraine and all other parts of the world? Have they had your back? I'm just saying, like, if you feel like they had your back, please go down in the comment section and tell me you felt like this administration has had your back as a black person. But what they do, they know they haven't had your back. They know they haven't done a damn thing for you. So what they do is, let's go find something to stir up fear amongst them. Project 2025. We're going to use that because we know we can't produce anything that shows where we actually helped black people. We didn't do shit for them. But what we're going to do is we're going to fear them into. We're going to use fear tactics to get them to vote for us because we know we didn't do shit for them. It's sad. It's time for us to break up. This relationship don't work, baby. It's time to divorce and separate because this relationship is one-sided. We give them our vote. They don't give us a damn thing. Wake up. It's clear as day. Just go ask one Democratic politician that's in your district, what did they do to try to help you or your kind? Matter of fact, let's back up before we wrap this up. The American people, black, white, Asian, Latino Americans, people that were born here, people that went and fought in the military and fought for freedom, and those who pay taxes here, those who are building up this who built up this great land. Their ancestors been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. Ask them, the American people. Let's just take color out of it. Just the American people. What has the Biden administration done for them? And they can't tell you. They can't tell you. Because all of the American people collectively are suffering under the policies of this administration. And it's time to break up. If you made it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not a part of our family, the young black and wealthy family, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give the family a hug for me. Y'all have a great one. I'll see y'all in the next video.